today's story is Japan. So I had to put pictures up. We traveled from Tokyo over to Kyoto. I told you guys about stopping at Mount Fuji and hiking Mount Fuji. Well, we took the speed train. This is what I remember it looking like from Tokyo ultimately to Kyoto. And we took the speed train, and these trains go very, very fast. I'm trying to remember exactly. If anyone wants to Google that to find out, I think it's like 180 miles per hour. I might be totally off on that. But it was amazing because I remember passing another speed train going in the opposite direction. And I remember looking through the windows and I could see the landscape on the other side of that train, and it was just slightly blurred. And it was you could top speed 375. Thank you. Wow. Okay, so I was really off. Double what I said, at least. Oh, that's kilometers. We're gonna let them argue the speed limit, and then we'll figure it out in a minute. Miles per hour, kilometers. So it was really cool because it just showed how fast we were actually traveling. And then when you think about physics and math, and it's like when you're traveling in the opposite direction just as fast as the other train is going in the opposite direction, you can see through and you can see the scenery. I remember thinking, whoa, that is so cool. Despite how fast you're going, it's still such a smooth ride. It's really neat. So when we got to Kyoto, I was with my mom. My mom really likes the theater. And I will tell you, this is exactly what it looked like. In fact, I bet this is the exact theater that we went to. It was a cultural thing. We wanted to experience. We were sitting right over here on the right side of the picture. And there was an intermission like we have here during our musicals or, plays or whatever you've gone to the theater to see. And during the intermission, I remember everyone broke out their boxed lunch. Now, let me tell you what a boxed lunch is in Japan. Okay, Chris says 150 miles per hour. That's what I was remembering, something around there. So their boxed lunch consisted of rice, sushi, fish, tempura, which is like the fried veggies, okay? And here I'm breaking out a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And I was sitting there thinking, okay, I am so American right now. And I'm looking over at their, sushi lunch. And I'm thinking, oh, that looks so good right now. I wish I could have that. And I remember a Japanese lady looking over at my sandwich. And I almost wanted to ask her, you want to trade? But, total stranger and language barrier. When I did live over in Japan, I did learn enough of the Japanese language to, I called it survival language. And I remember going to the train station to actually purchase the tickets to go from Tokyo to Mount Fuji and on to Kyoto and then up into some other areas. I remember being at that Tokyo train station trying to speak to the tenant who was selling tickets. And okay, so Chris wants me to speak. So ichi ni, okay, so ni is 2, kipus is ticket. So I asked him ni kipus, and I don't remember what train was. And then of course, like you guys might naturally do this, but when I speak a foreign language, my brain goes to Spanish because that's what I grew up with. And so is 2 in Spanish. And so I wanted to say ni quipus a Kyoto, right? And so they're probably like, what's the But then I ended up drawing a picture for him on this piece of paper that I just happened to have, and I drew a picture of the train, and I wrote Tokyo on one side, Kyoto on the other, and I said ni kipus, and I held up my 2 fingers, and he understood. I was so excited, so I called it my survival language. My favorite thing, Ethan, my favorite thing in the world to say in Japanese is McDonald's. Have I taught you guys that one? All right, we're doing it. McDonald's. McDonald's. Honestly, the first time I ever heard it, it just kept going. It was like this verse of a song that goes over and over and over in your head. And I remember walking around Tokyo all day. McDonald's. Other things that, I remember saying was, the typical konnichiwa, sayonara, the hello, goodbye. A lot of them said when we would walk into stores, welcome, they'd say Ohio, and just like the state, Ohio. And then that was the casual way. But then if you wanted to be a little more formal, you could say Ohio gozaimasu. And if you really wanted to be formal, you would say Ohio gozaimashite. So it was just cool. It was just neat. And I will tell you, when we lived there, I would lifeguard every day, and I would sit up on that lifeguard chair for a few hours. Every morning I would get up and I'd write 4 sentences on my hands, and I would write it in English letters and then the translation to English on my hands. I did not write the kanji, which is their, symbols for their alphabet, because I never learned that. But I would sit there in the chair while I was lifeguarding, and I would memorize those 4 sentences so that by the time I was, 3-4 months into my stay, I did know enough of the Japanese language to even order coffee and stuff. I forgot what that one was. But. So there you go. You guys got me started talking about Japan. I love Japan. Honestly, the reason I went there is because I had been to many other parts of the world, mostly European when it comes to international, and I wanted so bad to experience and get to know the Asian culture in general. I didn't have a particular country that I wanted to go to, but I think it was meant for me to go to Japan because it is the most amazing country in the world. If you guys ever get a chance to go, like #1 bucket list for Asia. The South Pacific's amazing. I could just talk about it all day long. So, any more questions? What's that?
The train.
Yeah.
310 per hour.
So you're saying 310,
Yeah.
and Chris is saying 150.
Found a video of it.
He found a video.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I